Quarantine, day 10, Wednesday, March 25th. I've got lots of free new workouts with all the apps and subscriptions, the Beachbody, all of it's free. So I've been doing lots of working out, so that means lots of sweets. Today we're going to be baking cookies. Want to dip it in the milk?
Yeah.
According to Butler House rules, at age 2, you can eat one whole cookie. And then every 2 years after that, you get to add a half a cookie more. So when you're 10 years old, how many cookies can you eat according to Butler House rules?
What up, my quarantine people? Back at it again today, and today's about eating cookies, and I want to start eating, so let's just get on this problem. As you know, here at Quarantine Math and Sides Check, we love our Sides Check word problem strategy. So we're going to go ahead and start with our statement, and the statement's going to say, you can eat blank cookies when you are 10. Okay, now my handwriting's not very good today. I think I stayed up too late last night. But you can eat blank cookies when you are 10 years old. So when I go back, if I'm identifying anything about that, I'm looking for anything about cookies or anything about your age, right? So those are the two things that are guiding my thought process here. And the two things, or the three things I would have identified was one, when you are 2, you can have one cookie, right? So at 2 years old, you get your first cookie. Then every 2 years after that, okay, so every 2 years, and man, my handwriting's so bad today, you can get not one half cookie, but one half cookie more, right? And so I see that I'm kind of doing a pattern here. So the words that I identified are leading me to think that I should maybe, now, and there's a couple different strategies for this, and if you got the right answer, that's great, as long as you're developing a plan before you solve it. The plan I'm thinking about is using a T-chart, okay, to help me organize. And a T-chart is simply named because it looks like a T, right? So over here we have our age, and then over here we have the cookies that we have. Now, the next step for this would be to recognize the ratio that you have and to be able to use your scale factor knowledge to help you solve that. So if you're someone who's done ratios, you can just use ratios to solve this, but we're getting to that in 5th grade, right? That's the next step for 6th grade. And some of you already taken that's great, but if not, so here's my start, okay? Now you don't always have to label this, but I like to label it. I'm starting at 2, and at 2 I can have one cookie. Now I have 2 different rules going on at the same time here, right? So my rule for my age was for every 2 years. That means I'm going to keep going every 2 years, and I'm going to stop when I get to 10 because that's what my statement was asking me about, right? So my rule over here is adding 2, and then my rule over here was adding 1/2 because it said for every 2 years you can eat half of a cookie more, okay? So that means when you're 4, 1 plus 1.5 would be 1 and 1/2, right? When you're 6, if you add another half to that, that'd be 2. When you're 8, that would be 2 and 1/2. And then when you're 10, you can eat 3 cookies. So I see right here that when I was 10, I could eat 3 cookies. So this is a great word problem strategy. It's not a tape diagram, which we typically love here. And you can actually do this with tape diagram, but this is another problem or another tool to have in your toolbox, especially when you're solving these problems where there's 2 different patterns going on. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this. If this one was too easy, go ahead and check out our challenge one today, but that's not for the weak of heart. Our challenge one is very difficult, and you're going to have to use a lot of tape diagrams, but click on over, check that one out. We encourage you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. When you're done, before you eat your cookies, make sure you wash your hands, don't touch your face, and then if you're feeling sick, make sure you stay inside and eat more cookies, because cookies can heal anything. That's not true. Not medical advice coming here from Quarantine Math, all right? As always, stay safe, do math. I'm out.